Hi everyone! It's me again, Mr. Alexis R. Osorio. At ngayong araw na ito, ang ating pag-aaralan ay tungkol sa Systems of Linear Equations in Two Variables. A pair of linear equations in two variables form a system of linear equations. The graph of a system of two equations is a pair of lines in the plane. Meaning to say, we are going to graph two equations in one Cartesian plane. So kapag ka pala tayo ay nag-graph ng two equations in one Cartesian plane, we have four possibilities. So we will find out what are those possibilities. Let us start by having the first example. Graph the system of equations. Equation 1. Y is equal to 2x plus 4. Equation 2. Y is equal to 2x minus 2. We are going to graph these two equations in just one Cartesian plane. Let us try to graph the first equation. Equation 1 is y is equal to 2x plus 4. Para ma-graph natin ang equation, we will use the slope and its y-intercept. Kasi kung mapapansin natin, ang equation ay nasa slope-intercept form na. So hanapin natin ang slope muna. So kapag ka nasa slope-intercept form na, we can easily get the slope of it. So slope is m is equal to 2. So pag-graph ng equation using the slope, gagamitin natin ang rise over run. Okay, so rise over run is a fraction. So kailangan maging fraction yung ating slope. So kung yan ay walang denominator, automatically meron siyang 1 na denominator. So our slope will be 2 over 1. Also, the y-intercept. Ang y-intercept nito is 4. Kunin natin ang coordinates ng y-intercept. Okay, so that will be 0, 4. So, ibig sabihin yan, ang una nating ipa-plot sa ating Cartesian plane is the coordinates of the y-intercept, yung 0, 4. Hanapin natin ang 0, 4 sa Cartesian plane. Ayun. So, this is 0, 4. From this point, gagamitin naman natin yung slope, which is the rise over run. Ang rise natin is the numerator, which is 2. Kung ang rise natin ay positive 2, yan ay pataas. It will goes upward. So 2 units upward from the coordinates of the y-intercept. So 2, yes, ito muna yung ating y-intercept. And then 2 units upward, ayun. And then let us use the denominator, which is run. Yung run natin is 1. Kapag ka run ang pinag-uusapan, is it going to the left or going to the right? Okay, so that is positive 1. So it goes to the right. So 1 unit to the right, ayun. And then, we are going to connect the 2 points. Okay, so now, after connecting the 2 points, this is now the graph of the first equation. And don't forget to write the name of the equation. So this is y is equal to 2x plus 4. Para alam natin na itong graph na ito ay kay y is equal to 2x plus 4. Next, let us graph equation 2. Equation 2, y is equal to 2x minus 2. Same process. Let us get the slope. Okay, kita kagad natin na ang slope ay positive 2. Gagawin natin itong rise over run. So that will be 2 over 1. Let us identify the y-intercept also, that is negative 2. Kung kukunin natin ang coordinates ng y-intercept, yan ay 0, negative 2. So we will start with this point to graph the second equation. 0, negative 2. Let us plot it in the Cartesian plane. Okay, so 0, negative 2, ayun. And then, after plotting the coordinates of the y-intercept, let us use the slope, which is the rise over run. Ang rise natin is the numerator, which is 2. That is positive 2, so it goes upward. 2 units upward. Ayun. And then, our run is positive 1. Is it to the left or to the right? Okay, so that is to the right because the denominator or the run is positive 1. Okay, so this is 1 unit to the right. And then let us connect the 2 points. And after connecting the 2 points, this is now our equation number 2. Don't forget to write the name of the equation. Y is equal to 2x minus 2. Now, let us focus on the two graphs. Let us focus first on their slopes. What can you say about the slopes of the two lines? Ang slope ng first equation ay 2. Ang slope ng second equation ay 2. So therefore, we can say that the slopes are equal. Also, let us talk about the y-intercept. Ang y-intercept ng first equation ay 4. Ang y-intercept ng second equation is negative 2. They are not equal. So, the y-intercepts are not equal. Now, by looking at the lines or the graph, what kind of lines are being created by the two equations? Kung makikita natin, ito ay parallel because they do not intersect with one another. Okay, so therefore, the lines are parallel. Since the lines do not intersect, there is no solution to this system of equations. Okay, hence the equations are independent and the system is inconsistent. So this is the first possibility of the two equations in graphing or if we are going to graph two equations in one Cartesian plane. So ano pa kaya yung ibang possibilities? Let us find out. Okay, for this part, let us graph the system of equations. Equation 1. Y is equal to 3x plus 4. Equation 2. Y is equal to negative 1/3 x minus 3. Okay, let us have equation 1. Y is equal to 3x plus 4. M is equal to 3. Pero ang hinahanap natin dito is rise over run. So that will be 3 over 1. Hanapin naman natin ang y-intercept. Ang y-intercept ng equation 1 is 4. Ang coordinates nito ay 0, 4. At igagraph natin yan sa Cartesian plane. Unahin na natin ang 0, 4. Ang 0, 4 ay dito. Ayan. So that is 0, 4. From that point, we will use our slope which is 3, 1. Ang rise natin is the numerator which is 3. So 3 units upward kasi positive. Okay, so 3 units upward. By the way, this is 0, 4 and then 3 units upward. Ito yon. Yan. Okay, next. Denominator naman tayo, yung run. Kung yan ba ay pakaliwa or pakanan. Ang denominator natin is positive 1, so that is going to the right. Okay, 1 unit to the right, so this is the point. At let us connect them. After connecting the 2 points, this is now our first equation. Y is equal to 3x plus 4. Okay, now let's go to equation number 2. Let us graph equation number 2. Ang equation number 2 natin is y is equal to negative 1/3 x minus 3. Ang slope nito ay alam na kagad natin, which is negative 1/3. Okay, merong ng rise and run. At ang y-intercept natin is negative 3. So, 0, negative 3. Unahin natin yung 0, negative 3. Let us plot 0, negative 3 sa ating Cartesian plane. At ito ang 0, negative 3. From this point, let us use our slope, which is negative 1 over 3. Ang negative natin is the numerator. So, ang rise ay negative 1. Kung yan ay negative 1, is it going upward or downward? Okay, great. Kapag ka negative, yan ay papunta sa baba. So, negative 1, that is 1 unit downward. Okay, ayun. And then, ang denominator natin is run, kung yan ba'y papunta sa kaliwa or kanan. And that is positive 3. So that is 3 units to the right. Okay, so 3 units. Ayun. And then, let us connect the 2 points. Okay, after connecting, let us, don't forget to write the name of the equation. That is y is equal to negative 1/3 x minus 3. Now, if we are going to focus our attention to the graph, we can say that, oh look, meron pang small square dito sa ating part ng graph na to, sa point of intersection. Meaning to say, this is another possibility when graphing linear equations into variables. Okay, so the first one, the lines are perpendicular because that small square na symbol na nakikita natin dito sa graph, ayan ay palatandaan na ang graph ay perpendicular or ang lines ay perpendicular. Next, the y-intercepts are not equal. Yes, obviously, they are not equal because in the first equation, ang y-intercept natin is 4 at sa second equation, ang y-intercept natin is negative 3. Okay, now let us find the next one. The slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. The product of their slopes is negative 1. Tignan nga natin, ang slope ng first equation ay 3. Ang slope ng second equation is negative 1/3. Yes, they are negative reciprocal. Okay, so also, pag pinag-multiply natin yung 3 at negative 1/3, ang sagot ay negative 1. So, yun ang palatandaan natin kapag ka ang ating graph ay perpendicular. Since the lines intersect, the system is consistent and its equations are independent. Okay, so this is the second possibility. Yung nauna kanina, parallel lines, ngayon naman, perpendicular lines. Ano kayo pangatlo? So let us find out. Graph the system of equations. Equation 1, y is equal to 4x minus 6. Equation 2, y is equal to 1/3 x plus 2. Unahin na natin sa equation 1, y is equal to 4x minus 6. Get the slope and y-intercept. Ang slope niya is 4, and then that will be 4 over 1 because we will use rise over run. Y-intercept is negative 6, and the coordinates of the y-intercept is 0, negative 6. I-graph na natin sa Cartesian plane. Unahin natin si 0, negative 6. So, para ma-plot natin yon, dito si 0, negative 6. Ayun. From this point, sunod natin yung ating slope, which is 4 over 1. Ang rise natin is positive 4. So, that is 4 units upward. Okay, so ayun, yung 4 units upward. And then, our denominator is our run. Positive 1. So, kung yan ay positive 1, 1 unit to the right. Okay, so from this point, ito yung ating 1 unit to the right. And then, let's connect them. After connecting, don't forget to write the name of the equation. Y is equal to 4x minus 6. Next equation, equation number 2. Y is equal to 1/3 x plus 2. Ang slope natin is 1/3. So, ang slope natin ay meron ng rise over run kasi naka-fraction form na. Okay, next. Ang slope, ang y-intercept naman natin dito is 2. Ang coordinates ng y-intercept ay 0, 2. So, uunahin natin si 0, 2 na i-plot sa ating Cartesian plane. Ang 0, 2 ay dito natin matatagpuan. Ayun, yung kulay red. Okay, next. Let us use our slope, which is 1/3. Ang rise natin is the numerator, positive 1. So if that is positive 1, 1 unit upward. And then, ang denominator natin is the run, 3 units to the right. Because that is positive. So 3 units, dito natin makikita. Ayun. And let us connect the 2 points. Don't forget to write the name of the equation. Y is equal to 1/3 x plus 2. Ayun. Okay, so next is, let us focus on the graph of the two lines. So tignan natin. Let us observe the graph. So the lines are intersecting lines, but not perpendicular. Nag-intersect sila, pero hindi perpendicular. The slopes are not equal. In equation 1, ang slope ay 4. Ang slope naman sa equation 2 is 1/3. Yes, they are not equal. The y-intercepts are not equal. ang y-intercept ng equation 1 is negative 6. Ang y-intercept ng equation 2 is positive 2. They are not equal. Since the lines intersect, the system is consistent, its equations are independent. So ang pangatlong possibility natin when graphing two equations in one Cartesian plane ay intersecting lines. Okay, una, parallel lines. Pangalawa, perpendicular lines. Pangatlo, intersecting lines. Let us find out the last possibility or yung pinakahuli na. Okay, let us now go to the last possibility when graphing two equations in one Cartesian plane. Okay, graph the system of equations. Equation 1, y is equal to negative 2x plus 2. Equation 2, 4x plus 2y is equal to 4. Equation 1, y is equal to negative 2x plus 2. Same process, we will get the slope and y-intercept. As we can see, the slope is negative 2. Ang gagamitin natin is rise over run. So that will be negative 2 over 1. And the y-intercept is 2. Ang coordinates ng y-intercept ay 0, 2. Let us graph it in Cartesian plane. Unahin na natin si 0, 2. Ang 0, 2 ay makikita dito sa point na ito. At from this point, we will get the other point using the slope of the equation, and the slope is negative 2 over 1. So our rise is the numerator, negative 2. If that is negative 2, that will be 2 units downward. So ito yung point natin. And then ang denominator is the run, positive 1. Kung yan ay positive 1, it is going to the right. So 1 unit to the right, and here is the point. Let us connect them and write the name of the equation. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 2. Now, let us graph the second equation. 4x plus 2y is equal to 4. Kung mapapansin natin, ang equation ay nasa standard form. So, para mahanap natin ang slope at ang y-intercept, we need to rewrite it into slope-intercept form. So, hindi ko na ipapakita kung paano i-rewrite yan. Let us just get the slope. And the slope is negative 2. Okay, ang kailangan natin is rise over run, kaya yan ay magiging negative 2 over 1. Ang y-intercept naman ng equation na to is 2. And the coordinates of the y-intercept will be 0, 2. So, ang una nating ipa-plot for second equation is 0, 2. At ito yung 0, 2. Ayun, yung may red na point. Okay, now, from this point, hahanapin naman natin yung isa pang point using the slope of the second equation, which is negative 2 over 1. So, kung ang rise natin is negative 2, that will be 2 units downward, kasi negative 2. Okay, from this point, ang denominator natin is positive 1, that is the run, 1 unit to the right. So, ayun, yung ating second point. Let us now connect the 2 points. And don't forget to write the name of the 2 points or this equation. And that is 4x plus 2y is equal to 4. Let us observe the equations or the graph of the 2 equations. Ano kayang mapapansin natin dyan? Una, the lines are coinciding. Pag sinabi natin coinciding, magkapatong yung dalawang equations or parehas sila ng dinaanan na mga points. The slopes are equal. As we can see, the slope of the first equation is negative 2 and the slope of the second equation is negative 2 also. So the slopes are equal. The y-intercepts are equal. Ang y-intercept ng first equation ay 2, ang y-intercept ng second equation ay 2. So they are equal. Since the lines coincide, the system is consistent, its equations are dependent. Okay, so kung mapapansin natin, kapag ka ang equations ay may magkaparehas na slope at magkaparehas na y-intercept, ang kanilang graph ay coinciding. Okay, parehas lang sila ng dinaanan, katulad ng nakikita natin dito. So this is the last possibility when graphing two equations in one Cartesian plane. So una, ulitin ko, we have parallel lines. Pangalawa, perpendicular lines. Pangatlo is intersecting lines. And pang-apat, coinciding lines. Okay, let us summarize the four possibilities when graphing two linear equations in one Cartesian plane. So let us talk about their graph, slope, y-intercept, and conclusion. So we have four possibilities: parallel lines, perpendicular lines, intersecting lines, and coinciding lines. Okay, let us have a parallel lines first. Ang slope ng parallel lines ay equal. Ang y-intercept naman ay not equal. Ang conclusion sa ating parallel lines, equations are independent, system is inconsistent, no solution exists. Number 2 is perpendicular lines. Ang slope ng perpendicular lines, the slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. The product of their slopes is negative 1. Ang y-intercept ay not equal. Equations are independent, system is consistent, one solution exists. Next, intersecting lines. Ang slope ng intersecting lines ay not equal. The same with y-intercept, not equal din. Equations are independent, system is consistent, one solution exists. At ang huli natin ay ang coinciding lines. Ang slope ng coinciding lines ay equal, kaparehas ng y-intercept. Equations are dependent, system is consistent, infinitely many solution exists. Okay, next, let us try to answer this activity. Without graphing, tell whether the graphs of the system of equations are parallel, perpendicular, intersecting, or coinciding. Ang given natin is equation 1, y is equal to 4x plus 12. Equation 2, y is equal to 2x minus 1. Kahit ba equation lang ang given, ma-identify ba natin kung yan ay parallel, perpendicular, intersecting, or coinciding? So let's find out. Okay, so equation 1 muna tayo. So hanapin natin yung slope ng equation 1 as well as the y-intercept. Ang slope is 4, ang y-intercept is 12. And let us compare it to the slope and y-intercept of equation 2. Equation 2 is y is equal to 2x minus 1. Ang slope ay 2. Ang y-intercept is negative 1. So, comparing these two equations, the slopes are not equal. The y-intercepts are not equal. So, ano kayang klaseng lines yan? Okay, so balikan natin yung kanina. The slopes are not equal. The y-intercepts are not equal. Alin kaya dyan? So, ayun. So, kung ang slope ng dalawang lines ay not equal at ang y-intercept ay hindi ring magkaparehas, therefore, that is intersecting lines. So, just remember this part kasi dito sa summary natin, makikita na natin, base lang sa slope at saka sa y-intercept, kaya na natin ma-identify kung yan ba ay parallel, perpendicular, intersecting, or coinciding. Let's take another example. Equation 1. Y is equal to negative 5x minus 7. Equation 2. Y is equal to negative 5x plus 8. Okay, ang i-compare natin is the slope and the y-intercept of the two equations. Equation 1, anong slope nito? Yes, negative 5. At ang y-intercept nito ay negative 7. Equation 2, y is equal to negative 5x plus 2. Ang slope natin dito is negative 5. At ang ating y-intercept is 8. Comparing the two equations, the slopes are equal. The y-intercepts are not equal. So let us look at our summary. Alin ditong Alin sa mga graph na ito ang may condition na ang slope ay equal at ang y-intercept ay not equal? So let us find out. Okay, ayun. So therefore, the answer here is parallel lines. Parallel lines kapag ka ang slope ay equal at ang y-intercept ay hindi magkaparehas. Okay, so just remember this summary. Masasagot nyo lahat ng ating mga questions or equations. Okay, this time, all you have to do is to answer this. Equation 1, y is equal to 6x plus 6. Equation 2, y is equal to 6x minus 21. The same process. You will find out, without graphing, tell me if this is parallel, perpendicular, intersecting, or coinciding. I am going to give you 30 seconds to answer this. Go. Alright, time's up. If your answer is parallel lines, therefore, you got it correctly. Okay, so ibig sabihin may natutunan ka sa lesson na ito at alam mo na kung paano ma-identify kahit hindi natin i-graph kung ang lines ay parallel, perpendicular, intersecting, or coinciding. Okay, so that would be all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned something from it. And if you have any question, comment, or message, or anything to say about the lesson, just comment down below and I will make sure to respond to it. Goodbye and see you on my next video.